Check, check.
You want to start it?
Sure.
All right.
Good evening, Oak Ridgers and folks from Anderson, Roane County, and who knows, all over the world potentially, because we're streaming this live. Welcome to the 2023 version of the Oak Ridge Chamber of Commerce Christmas Parade down Lafayette Avenue, making a big left turn down the turnpike and ending up at the Oak Ridge High School. So it is a good night for a parade. Alex, what do you think?
It is, and I didn't know that it was going to be a good day for one, but certainly this evening I think they're calling for rain here a few hours from now. But all day I've kind of been keeping an eye on the forecast, keeping an eye on the clouds, and it's cloudy. But in a way, I think it's kind of kept it from getting too cool. It's not too bad out here. Of course, I say that with a big jacket on, but I don't care. At this point, Brad, I'm sure you're in the same boat behind the cameras. Hey, if it's 20 degrees, it's 20 degrees. As long as it's not the R word, as long as there's not stuff falling from the sky, that's all we care about.
Well, we're great. Yep, and you mentioned Brad. We can't thank him and his crew enough for doing this every year. I get people that tell me all year long they saw the Christmas parade. They couldn't get out to see it. They saw it on a replay. They saw it somehow. Brad made that happen, and we appreciate him and his team doing that every year.
You definitely do. We were talking before we went live here, and just with the technology these days, so many people that grew up in Oak Ridge, or maybe they went to high school here, or maybe they've got grandkids here that maybe they're going to be on a float, but maybe they live in Florida, or maybe they're in Texas, or Brad said somebody was watching a stream not long ago from Scotland. So you never know, and just the modern day capabilities of technology, sometimes we get aggravated at it, but it lets us do things like this, and without Brad and BBB Communications, a lot of people wouldn't be able to watch it.
Couldn't do it. So, Brad, I know we can't see you, or they can't see you. We can see you, and we appreciate you being here every single year to bring the 2023 parade to Oak Ridgers. If you don't know, the parade does start at the Corporate Center on Laboratory Road, and it does come out onto Lafayette for just a short jaunt. And then when Lafayette, New York, and the Turnpike come together, it turns west, heads down the hill towards the Oak Ridge High School and parking lot, and that's where it ends up. So if you're not out, there's not a lot of spots left. This place is packed this evening, but you could find a spot if you wanted to come down somewhere on that route.
I'm excited about our new location. So last year was the first year that I participated on the broadcast side of the Christmas parade. And we were down by the high school. It was a great location. There were some bleachers behind us. It was where the judges were, and I loved it. But I think this year, I think it's going to be even better because we are situated right at the turn of Lafayette and the Turnpike. And so we're going to get to see who's coming down the way a little bit. We're going to get to see them as they turn, and we're going to get – I think some folks might get a little more airtime this year. And certainly as broadcasters, we get a little bit more of a heads up on who's coming up next. And I think it's a great location. You can kind of see a little bit of everybody from this angle.
And we really would like to thank Max Pharmacy and the Take 5 folks here for letting us use their facilities to put our equipment and things to prepare for this, give us a spot on their lawn. They've been super and great corporate citizens in Oak Ridge. We appreciate everything they've done.
Yeah, and it's Max is fairly new, right? Take 5 is just a few months old, and it seems like, and I know this is a chamber event, so why not talk about it, right? So many businesses being involved, both of us a little bit with the chamber, seeing how many new businesses are coming to town or joining the chamber, and the connections that people are making. It's as someone who grew up in Oak Ridge, and I remember you being the mayor, and it's really cool to see how much this town is growing, and not just growing, but growing in still feeling like a community, if that
right.
makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. Living in Oak Ridge is a wonderful thing. It's big enough to have a lot of what you need, but it's small enough where you still know your neighbor, you know who the mayor is, and you know folks that work at the Civic Center. It's just a great place to raise a family and to live. And speaking of city staff, just hear the siren in the background, but I was coming up here before the parade to get ready, and we have Oak Ridge PD, and I'm sure there will be Anderson County Sheriff Department folks helping us out, and probably others, Public Works, to pull off a parade where you shut down. This is a major state route right through the middle of town, and they're at every intersection ensuring the safety of our spectators, the safety of the people in the parade and the folks that got to make a detour around this. Probably for them, didn't know a parade, possibly a little bit frustrating, but their safety too. So we cannot thank the city staff enough for making all this happen.
David, I know that you've seen a lot of these and broadcasted. I don't know how many you've done, but probably more than anybody, right? Question before we get started, as we're just probably 2 or 3 minutes away from the first floats being in sight. What is your favorite Christmas parade, Oak Ridge Chamber of Commerce Christmas parade memory? Is there something that sticks out, or an event, or a certain float? Is there something, because you've seen a lot, I wonder if there's anything that sticks out to you.
We had a parade where it was snowing. Not enough to cancel the parade, but enough to make it like the parade of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Seeing floats coming through the parade that was white, it was just unbelievable. And we've had weather where it's been 80 degrees and we've had cold, we've had rain, but that was perfect. And everything in that parade was just that much more special because of the winter weather.
That's fun. I can't help whether it's ball games or certain things in life that you've done when you're a child, even as you grow older. It harkens you back to those memories. And for me, I always think about, we parked at the same spot every year down in front of kind of Applebee's and Crystal.
Yep.
When it was in the morning back in the day, we used to go and get breakfast at one of those places and then run out really quick and stay warm as long as we can and then run out and get our spot and just going out and getting the candy. And it's just, there's some kids down here to our right. It's always fun because it's a different kind of special, I think, once you get outside of your teenage years.
Yep.
It's still special, but it's in a totally different way, and I think now it's just an appreciation of the effort and the folks keeping tradition alive.
Yeah, and there's grandparents who brought their kids who are now parents who have brought their kids, and there's probably 4 generations out here, I'm sure, and this is just a tradition for them, and I like it. It's a good tradition for us too, our family too.
Definitely. We can start to see the first floats coming by is just about to come by, and I think this is a traditional one. Typically,
yes,
the first and last floats in the parade are the same every year, so if you've watched a few of these, this should be no shock to you. David, who we got coming up first?
Yeah, the very first police vehicle in the parade. Now, there's lots of police vehicles escorting the parade, but is driven by Police Chief Robin Smith. He takes us back to the days of Mayberry to kick off this version of the parade. He's driving an antique police car. Chief Smith was appointed chief in October of 2018. And again, as we've said earlier, we want to thank the ORPD for their support of the parade and providing safety and security for our entries and the public. And you will recognize this vehicle if you've been to the parade before, because it is the same traditional vehicle that always leads off our parade.
It's a classic for sure. I love the way those old horns, I don't know if they'll do it right in front of the TV crew. Maybe they'll think they're helping us or they're hurting us. I don't know, but I hope they do. I love those old sirens on those old police cars, the fire engines. I love that sound.
I tell you what, in the digital age, to see what police cars can do with their light systems today is amazing, coming from the one spinning red light from eons ago.
Yeah. And I can hear in the background, I don't know if folks at home can listen and hear that yet, but glad to see the band still able to make it. I know sometimes with the rain it deters them, but looks like we're still got the Oak Ridge High School Band, which is a former Wild Band member. It's one of my favorite traditions is hearing them come by and watching the drum line go. And we get one more look at Chief Robin Smith in that old-timey police vehicle. There's the horn.
There it is.
You go from old school right there, and as Brad tilts the camera momentarily, now you see the new school with the Dodge, and those, in different ways, but those are both 2 sharp-looking police vehicles. So next up, we've got Oak Ridge Fire Chief Travis Solomon and Mayor Warren Gooch. Mayor Warren Gooch kicks off our parade in one of the department's fireboats alongside Fire Chief Travis Solomon. Oak Ridge Mayor Warren Gooch was elected the city's 10th mayor in November 2014, and he's been unanimously reelected for 3 consecutive terms. Solomon has served with the fire department since February of 2016, and as its fire marshal, and was named chief back in 2020.
Following Mayor Gooch and Chief Solomon is the Oak Ridge High School Navy Junior ROTC. Their accredited curriculum emphasizes citizenship and leadership development, as well as our maritime heritage, the significance of sea power, and naval topics such as the fundamentals of naval operations, seamanship, navigation, and meteorology. The group members are in grades 9 through 12, and this program has grown like wildfire over the last few years. It is very popular, healthy, good program at Oak Ridge High School.
Absolutely. I was at a basketball game last night, and they were out there before the game. It's great to see that program truly thriving. The next up will be the Oak Ridge High School Wild Band. You can hear them. I'll shut my trap momentarily so we can get a good glimpse and a good sound of them. Here they are, the ORHS Wild Band, marching and playing us into the Christmas spirit. They're led by Michael Spirko, who is in his 20th year of teaching in the region. What's your favorite section in the band? I gave away mine earlier.
Yeah, it's hard not to like the percussion section, but I also like the very small flutes and piccolos because they keep the top running.
I love whether it's at football games or whether it's at a parade like this. I love hearing the differences as they're all playing as they go by, and you hear every time another row marches, you hear the song in a different way.
Yep. Well, you just can't have a parade without a good band, marching band. So we've checked that box.
They even got sleigh bells for a few of the percussionists. I love how they balanced out the percussion, thought we were doing a drum line, and then all of a sudden here comes the song, and it was a familiar one to get us into the Christmas spirit.
That's right. All right, following the Wild Band is Jim Dodson, City Councilman, and our Mayor Pro Tem. He was first elected the position in 2016. Jim is also, as most of you know, an art teacher extraordinaire at Jefferson Middle School. Is involved in many local charitable boards and city committees. My office is in Jackson Square, and I can look out in Jackson Square, and there's artwork that Jim has obtained and placed there. I see it every day. It makes our day better. We appreciate that.
Here's another person you're familiar with, Charlie Hensley, City Councilman. Charlie has served on the City Council for a combined 10 years, including his first 2 terms from 2007 to 2016, and then later again in 2022 until the present. He's also served on the Oak Ridge Planning Commission for a total of 24 years, dating back to 1984.
Right behind Charlie is Jeff Cole, Anderson County Clerk. He's a lifelong resident of Anderson County, graduated from Clinton High School, Carson Newman College, and UT. He's been president of the County Clerks Association, was the County Clerk of the Year in 2008, and best local politician as voted by the readers of the Clinton Courier-News.
Can't forget about Jamie Brooks, Chancellor. Governor Bill Lee appointed Jamie Brooks as Chancellor for the 7th Judicial District this past April. Brooks, who got his JD from the UT College of Law, was a solo practitioner at Wilson & Brooks PC and brings more than 37 years of varied legal expertise to the bench.
In the vehicle next is Rex Lynch, Circuit Court Clerk, elected there in 2018. Rex takes care of the General Sessions Division I Court, the Circuit and Criminal Court, and the Juvenile Court, which are all in Clinton, as well as the General Sessions Division II Court in Oak Ridge. He's accompanied by his wife, Jamie, and their dog, DJ.
And there were the Oak Ridge High School cheerleaders, so join us in welcoming the Oak Ridge cheerleaders under Coach Amanda Armour. The team consistently wins major competitions in the University Interscholastic League, as well as winning the Spirit Award in Oak Ridge past Oak Ridge parades. They are wishing you a sweet Christmas.
The next 3 or more vehicles is the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. They've been protecting our citizens since 1801. That's a long time. They are led by Sheriff Russell Barker, who was elected in 2018 and has spent 20 years in law enforcement. And I can tell you there's been a lot of paving ongoing in Oak Ridge, and sometimes the Sheriff's Department helps with traffic, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, I've seen them, and that's been appreciated because it has been, it's not an easy thing. As you said, this is a major, not just in Oak Ridge, this is a major state highway. And, you said 1801 they've been protecting us since 1801. I think, actually, funny enough, that was Brad's first broadcast of the Christmas parade.
I think he did. I think he used telegraph wires. Is that right?
I hope he had a tent for those as well. We're glad Brad had a tent out here tonight as we've had a little drizzle, but it's turned out to be a really great office. And speaking of the sheriffs, here's the Anderson County Constable's Office. The Anderson County Constable's Office is a county law enforcement agency comprised of 5 elected peace officers. The elected officers are representatives of their respective voting districts. District 1 Constable Stephen Williams will be driving a marked patrol vehicle with his blue light bar on top. District 2 Constable Shannon Gray will be driving a marked patrol vehicle lights in the windshield, and both patrol vehicles are marked with the traditional brown and gold color scheme.
All right.
There's a dog in the back. I love the animals in the parades.
Yep.
It's funny. You get these parades, and we're reading 100 miles an hour, and then everything gets catched up, and now we got to fill time.
No, it's so funny. We're looking at each other trying to cut words where we can, and then now the electrical department is taking a little pause because we've got a little slowdown in the parade, so you just never know.
We've been talking about the different folks and the different forces that have helped with the massive paving. Coming down Lafayette, that's another major road that they've been paving as well. In the electric department, I think people are going, where are the lights? Where are the lights? Well, they've had to kind of finagle away and figure out how to put the lights up and avoid all this construction as well. So the lights are up. They look great. I was noticing them this morning when I came into town, tonight when I came back into town, and boy, they do a great job.
They sure do. It's interesting. My wife Sandy came home the other day and said, I saw them putting up the lights. We always like that too, just like you. And it's like 5 trucks very coordinated as they move down the turnpike. It's almost like a ballet of putting the lights up quickly, efficiently, so they want to block traffic but doing it safely. Great team. So now making the turn onto the turnpike is the Oak Ridge Electric Department. Their mission is to provide the very best in electrical power and customer service to the citizens of our community, and they do that each and every day. If your power is out, no matter when it is or what the weather is, they are back out, rain or shine, evening or morning or midnight or whatever's going on, they're out fixing your power, and we appreciate that, as I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, it seems like it's never been more important as the world continues just to work more on electronics. And but it's not just those types of things. It's the refrigerators, it's the air conditioning units. Some of those things that, if not taken care of, can be life-threatening issues. And those folks, a lot of times you don't think about them keeping us safe, but they actually, they do with how much they do. And following up with them is another similar department, another City of Oak Ridge department. It's the City of Oak Ridge Public Works Department. The Christmas parade could not happen without the help of our Public Works Department under direction of Patrick Burge. They are responsible for our streets. We've talked a lot about those today, our sewer, and our water systems. Here comes some candy.
The Public Works Department, electric and water, we're putting in a new water plant to bring water differently to the city, different than it's been since 1942. It's a big, big project, and it involves all the city departments. Scarborough Road is shut down sometimes, but they're doing a great job of making that happen. So we certainly appreciate everything the Public Works Department does.
I like the Christmas vacation reference on that. And Brad is saying the candy is full. The candy is full. Do not throw candy in front of the TV, folks. And they listened. So that's a cool looking float right there.
And following that is ORAU. It stands for Oak Ridge Associated Universities, and the ORAU Diversity Council. For more than 75 years, ORAU has helped its customers advance their mission by providing science, health, and workforce solutions through its specialized teams of experts. and a consortium of more than 150 universities around the country. For more than 30 years, ORAU's 25-member Diversity Council has provided awareness of the importance of diversity in the workplace and communicated the importance of respect for all employees, and they are a terrific member of our community. Following ORAU, Alex, you want to take that one up, number 16?
Yeah, it looks like it's the Tennessee State Cinderella Scholarship Program. Overall Miniature Miss 2023, the International Cinderella Scholarship Program, founded in 1976, has grown into the largest and most prestigious scholarship-oriented pageant system of its kind in the world. Throughout its 47-year history, Cinderella has championed the need and value of higher education for women and has promoted the goal by awarding millions of dollars in cash and college scholarships to young women from the United States and a host of foreign countries.
All right. Following that is the American Museum of Science and Energy, or AMSI, as most of us know that. AMSI always has a fun way to learn. They are having a printed electric car at the museum that you can see. Visit them to learn more about all the area's rich scientific contributions.
And following them, you see number 19 here. That is Methodist Medical Center. Just to our left, Methodist Medical Center is making sure the folks who live here the folks in Whoville as well are taken care of this year. Maybe they have a Grinch vaccine. Methodist is a leading hospital with nationally recognized honors committed to providing patients with high-quality care, technology, and service. At Methodist, our team is dedicated to raising the standard of health care in our community so that everyone can enjoy a better quality of life.
Alex, I like that float. That's a good float. I like that. Following the Grinch is First United Methodist Church. In its 70-year history, the church has grown in many ways, especially in helping to foster new initiatives in the Oak Ridge community, like the annual Earth Day Festival, the Oak Ridge Free Medical Clinic, and their newest initiative using the former Trinity UMC Church facilities, the Trinity Outreach Center. We appreciate all that work by First United Methodist Church here in Oak Ridge.
Next up, one of my favorites. Here comes the East Tennessee Riding Club. East Tennessee Riding Club works with the Anderson County 4-H with their horse project. Their members allow the participants to use their horses while learning every aspect of horsemanship. Their club has taken many of these children to state shows where they have won championships.
Next is Laura Green State Farm in a red Volkswagen convertible, wonderful-looking vehicle. Laura's office specializes in providing personal, business, and life insurance. Give her a call at 865-483-5666 to get your personal price plan. Jake from State Farm and the Grinch are joining the festivities.
Well, you hear the music. Well, music has been a therapeutic message that helps manage autism for years. This is the East Tennessee Bucketeers. That is the way that Katie Helms of Knoxville, Tennessee decided to start the Bucketeers, which is a crew of special works rock and rollers that find a way through comfort through music. They have a bagpiper tonight. The special bucket drummers and friends, they march to the beat of a different drummer. We play our drum for him. We play our best for him. Then he smiles at rum-pa-pum-pum.
All right. Next is the ARC of Anderson County. It's a nonprofit advocacy group of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The ARC's website is thearcandersoncounty.org, and you can also find them on Facebook.
And then we have Commonwealth Senior Living of Oak Ridge. Located in Oak Ridge, the Commonwealth Senior Living at Oak Ridge offers independent living, assisted living, short-term stays, and hospice care for a personalized approach that enhances quality of life.
And entry number 28 is the King family. Welcome the King family in a white Mitsubishi featuring a Charlie Brown Christmas. I love it, a family entry.
Love to see that. Next up is Oak Ridge Breakfast Rotary Club. The Rotary Club is very popular and amongst folks here in town, and they meet quite frequently. David, that's been a mainstay, and you've heard about the Rotary Club here in town as long as I can remember.
Yeah, there are 3 clubs actually: a morning, noon, and evening club. And if you're interested in Rotary, you ought to join. They meet weekly and have wonderful programs. Do a lot of good work here and around the world, trying, for example, working hard to end polio. In the bus, and this is one of the best ways to view a parade is from a bus. The Groves at Oak Ridge welcomes the jolly residents and staff of the Groves. The assisted living and memory care community is located on Emory Valley Road. Check the Groves community out on Facebook or their website for more information about finding a great place for your loved one to live.
Then it looks like we've got B97.5. As you see, Bruno Mars, Adele, Katy Perry. Midwest B97.5 is Midwest Communications. B97.5 WJXB is your radio station for today's hits and all your favorites. Listen to B in the Morning Show with Ashley, Roger, and Michelle, and more.
All right. Right behind B97.5 is the committee to elect Evan Hauser. Evan Hauser is Knox County's Deputy Law Director, is seeking the Republican Party nomination in next year's primary on March 5th. For Chancery Court in Anderson County, Tennessee. We welcome Evan here to Oak Ridge.
And there's the TSA. I remember that from my Robertsville days.
Yes.
Technology Student Association. The Technology Student Association is a national organization of students engaged in the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. That's very good here in the Secret City. Those have been very good to us at Robertsville Middle School. Their TSA students compete at the regional, state, and national levels in STEM events.
All right. Behind them is Sit Means Sit Dog Training. I love the name of that. Tells me exactly what they do. Here we have Max the dog from the Grinch movie fame. He is one of the demonstration dogs from Sit Means Sit Dog Training, located just over the bridge on Oak Ridge Highway.
Brad says his dog used it, and Brad can vouch, and I've seen those guys at events, and the dogs just stay right with their handlers. It's pretty incredible. As someone who's owned a dog before, that's easier said than done to get those pups. We love them, but sometimes they don't like to listen. Next up, here's some more Rams. Robertsville Middle School cheerleaders. Robertsville Middle School cheerleaders is a group that consists of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. These girls cheer for football and basketball teams, and I'll join them in saying, "Go Rams!"
All right.
I'm really going to sound like an old man saying this, but that looks like it's something that's going to land on TikTok later. That's what the kids are using these days, right?
It is. It's all
I don't know how to work all that stuff. I just see those dances floating around everywhere.
All right. In the dark-colored SUV with the light bar is the free medical clinic of Oak Ridge, which provides no-charge primary and medical care for low-income and uninsured residents in Anderson County, Roane, and Morgan counties. Visit their website to see their plans for an amazing New Year's Eve in Oak Ridge, and please be sure to support them. They do great work.
They really do, and a lot of people love watching the Friday Night Scoreboard on Friday nights right here on BBB Communications, talking about Oak Ridge or Oliver Springs or Cofield or Clinton or whoever, a lot of area teams. And this year, Free Medical Clinic, I think for the second year in a row, was the third year in a row, Brad tells me, was the title sponsor of that show. So they help all types of folk in the community, and they help folks get the message out from Brad. Next up, after Free Medical Clinic, well, I'll hold my horses here, as the Free Medical Clinic's got a few people. And that's good, because anytime any of those organizations, the Boys and Girls Club, United Way, Free Medical Clinic, it takes a village to get any of these things off the ground and to make the impact that they all want to make. And so, hey, as many floats as you want in this parade, we're all certainly good with that. One more time, thanks to the Free Medical Clinic of Oak Ridge. Next up is Canterfield Assisted Living of Oak Ridge. Located on Bus Terminal Road, this 93-bed assisted living offers independent living, assisted living, and memory care in a country club setting. And that place is nice if you've ever had the chance to go in that building. This might be my favorite car I've seen in the parade coming up.
I think so. 45. All right, we are finding it's Gene Gorman, Realtor. A train pulled by a lawnmower. I love it. Jeannie is a top producer at the real estate firm in Oak Ridge. She's been working with buyers, sellers, and rentals for 10 years in Oak Ridge in the greater Knoxville area. She's a dedicated realtor and Oak Ridge resident, specializing and excelling in listing properties with a commitment to excellence and ensuring buyers and investors find their dream homes. You know, Alex, the population of Oak Ridge has grown about 4,000 people over the last few years, which is a big growth spurt for us, and we appreciate realtors showing Oak Ridge to potential buyers.
Oh, excellent. Just percentage-wise, 4,000, it's a huge percentage.
Yep.
Next up, it looks like we have the real estate firm. And, hey, why not? Talk about another real estate firm, and they are, hey, there's not one real estate company, there's not two real estate companies, there's a bunch of them, and certainly they're all needed and appreciated. And following them is ServPro of West Knoxville. Welcome to some of the ServPro fleet of West Knoxville for emergency residential and commercial property restoration. Call ServPro 24/7 for water removal, flooding, fire cleanup, storm damage, and mold removal. That's the nasty one that nobody wants to touch.
Yeah, no, they do a good job. It seems like it's more of a problem now than it used to be, but the technology and the skill set to clean it, fix it like it never happened, which I think is probably their motto, is true and appreciated.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of folks in this parade and in our world that do thankless jobs, and not necessarily something somebody wants to do, but necessary things that get you back up on your feet, and especially, I'm seeing the words on that, the disaster recovery team. A lot of times, this is after a natural disaster or after some event that happened. It's unfortunate, and it's not your fault. But somebody has to help you pick you up, dust you off your pants, and get you back on your feet. And ServPro has certainly helped a lot of folks do that. It's one of those gaps we were talking about.
It's so funny. It's like when you're in traffic on the interstate and it's slow, and finally it just starts going fast again.
And you go,
like,
what was the reason? There is no
there?
reason. We'll blame the wet roads. How about that?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we'll blame. All right. This is the Premier Martial Arts of Oak Ridge, located in the Kroger Plaza. They offer customized martial art lessons for kids to be their best. Their certified instructors teach custom techniques to kids. You can sign up for a free lesson.
And following them, I believe, is Southern Key Realty. Holiday greetings from Southern Key Realty in Oak Ridge and broker Amy Evans. I've spoken with Amy before, and she's helped me anytime I've asked her. It's a good thing there's not smell-o-vision. I smell pizza all of a sudden.
I do.
I think we missed Home Depot there. I think I might have skipped over them. I apologize for that. I saw some buckets. Our local Home Depot, Laboratory Road, offers home services, truck rentals, and garden center, plus whatever else you need to get your project done.
Love Home Depot. Following them is Shoney's Restaurant, welcoming the Shoney Bear, the lovable mascot for Shoney's Restaurants. They extend greetings of joy, peace, and especially a warm thank you to all of Shoney's loyal guests. Been in the Knoxville area since 1962.
And those adorable barks you're hearing are from the folks at Sarge, Shelter Animals Rescue. Sarge is dedicated to reducing the population of unwanted animals by replacing them in loving, responsible homes. Sarge supports community outreach programs, i.e. animal welfare services, pet supplies, and food distributions, and support for local shelters. Visit shelteranimalsrescue.org and pauseforlifegala.com.
All right. Following Sarge is Turner Recruiting and Consulting. They are a direct placement company helping other businesses with their hiring needs, which is a huge need right now. They can help you get quality staffing at a fraction of the cost. Visit them at 865-640-4280 or turnerrecruits.com. The Playhouse on their float will be sold to benefit St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Following them is ORUUC, which of course stands for Oak Ridge Unitarian Universalist Church. Church members and friends of Oak Ridge Unitarian Universalist Church are excited to, once again, be a part of this annual tradition. Their message is simple: love your neighbors, all of them.
And in the four-wheel drive truck pulling the large float is the UT Ag Research entry. The UT Arboretum Society is a volunteer arm of the UT Forest Resources and Ag Research and Education Center, the UT Arboretum here in Oak Ridge. UTAS volunteers are the heart of the UT Arboretum and work on all our community projects. UTAS was founded in 1965, and its members are instrumental in maintaining trails, plant collections, and fundraising operations. And I've hiked and visited the plant sale and done some running through there, even done some geocaching in there a long time ago. That's a great place to visit right here in town.
Yeah, it's one of the best kept secrets. I mean, you drive right past, it's easy to take it for granted, but boy, when you go out there, it doesn't matter what time of year, there is beauty and wildlife to behold, and boy, it's a great gym in our community. Next up is the Oak Ridge Boys and Girls Club. This float features the Oak Ridge Youth League champions, plus Pig Bowl champs and East Tennessee Bowl champs, along with our cheerleaders. We want to celebrate this huge accomplishment for Boys and Girls Club's teams. They were great teams at all age levels with this specific team, David. I kept up with them all year. I help out with the Boys and Girls Club some, and this team was dominant. And Brad's grandson was on it, too.
All right.
Big part of that, I think, that offensive line, if I'm not mistaken, and he's a basketball player, too. So don't get mad at me if I call a foul on him at some point this season, Brad. Or do get mad at me. I probably deserve it.
Well, and guys, we appreciate you and all the volunteers at Boys and Girls Club, Girls Inc., all those organizations that help our youth. Can't do it without the volunteers.
And they're the cheerleaders.
And I think behind.
Oh, you can't miss this truck.
Yep. You'll probably see it at ball games. You'll see it at events around town. The Kona Ice of West Knoxville specializes in fundraising for our local schools, youth sports, churches, and local charities. Raised over $7,500 for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcat football team. And their national give back stands at $150 million. Wow. So that's a big organization giving back here locally. We appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. No matter large, small, just about every one of these floats and people who have come by in some form or fashion, hey, even in this parade, right, they're giving back to their community, and we appreciate every ounce and bit of that. So the dollars certainly help, but it's not just that, and whether it's dollars or whether it's time or whatever, every bit is appreciated certainly in this community. And, boy, I know it's cold out here, but looking at the flavor options they've got there, I love a Superman red and blue classic Kona Ice.
Good choice. I tell you, we speaking of people volunteering their time, there's no charge to be in the parade here in Oak Ridge. Again, my wife and I were talking a couple weeks ago about different parades, and some parades have a pretty hefty entry fee, and you've got to pay to be in them. And if it wasn't for the volunteers at the Oak Ridge Chamber helping pull this off, in addition to the city staff, we couldn't do that. So we're glad this is a free parade. A lot of volunteers make it happen.
Absolutely, and I know Bree is instrumental in Norm, Christine, those folks at the Chamber, specifically Bree with some of these events. The Chamber, you would not believe how much effort it takes to put something like that on. A lot of which we know about, and then there's stuff that we don't even know about that they take care of behind the scenes. So, again, thank you to all the folks at the Oak Ridge Chamber of Commerce. Next up is the Rittenhour family. The Rittenhour family joins us tonight on horseback. I hope those horses don't get scared easily.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Right behind the horses is a man with a very important job, but behind him is ATOW Towing and Recovery. They are a fast, friendly, and affordable automotive emergency service provider located in Oak Ridge. That's on the east end. In business for over 9 years, they specialize in light to medium-duty towing, accident recovery, roadside assistance, and more. And the way you remember it, if you break down, you need a tow, right? So ATOW, that's who you call.
That's good marketing right there. And we're happy to tell you that ATOW's horn does work.
Check that box.
Boy, it always amazes me if you've ever seen ATOW or any of these towing companies when how quickly with these modern day all the technologies, how quickly they can get a car up. And you don't think that that's that important until you're behind the car and waiting in the line after a wreck or after a car's broke down, and all of a sudden you appreciate these ATO folks and other folks that help get these cars off the roads and out of the way so everybody else can drive safely. Next up is, I believe, Covington Family. No, it is Personalized Caregiving of Tennessee. Thank you, David. Personalized Caregiving of Tennessee is proud to be a part of this year's Christmas parade. We are proud to care for families, loved ones, and provide compassionate care and companionship that will last for generations.
All right. St. Mary's Parish follows them. St. Mary's Catholic Church is a very active parish. We have our White Elephant Thrift Store, which is open 3 days a week. The St. Joseph Food Pantry and Youth Group, which meets on Wednesdays and Thursdays. They also have 5 masses every weekend. Their nativity theme comes from the Bible passage, "For unto us a Savior is born, which is Christ the Lord." And we appreciate all that St. Mary's does in Oak Ridge.
Absolutely. Next up, the Anderson County Democratic Party. They stand as one of the 90 Democratic county parties across Tennessee dedicated to advancing the progressive ideas that guide our party, inclusivity, fairness, and the welfare of all. We are committed to identifying and endorsing candidates for various positions who will champion and uphold those progressive principles.
All right, this is a new entry, I think. It is Belly Rubs Basset Rescue.
Oh, my word. So cute.
Yes, they rescue and foster basset hounds and mixed basset breeds to help them find their forever homes. I love it. Basset hounds are the most fun-loving and affectionate dogs with their clown-like personalities. They make wonderful companions for all people and children. You can find more about this at bellyrubs.org.
And I can't help but smile looking at those dogs going through. Next up is Progressive Martial Arts Academy, known as PMA around town. Progressive Martial Arts Academy owner David Corrigan is at the helm of this vibrantly wrapped runaway sleigh, accompanied by his 3 sons, or are those elves? PMA is a family-owned business that has been in Oak Ridge since 2005. Visit their new academy right here in Oak Ridge Turnpike next to Starbucks or online at www.pmaoakridge.com to set up a free intro lesson.
All right. Next is Russell and Abbott Heating and Cooling. They bring holiday cheer riding in their yellow Chevy Trax. Just give a whistle and they'll come running. You can see them at www.russellandabbott.com/letitsnow.
And then on the screen just a moment ago was Fats Barbecue. Can't wait for the Fats Hickory Smoked Barbecue food truck to arrive. Follow them on Facebook to find out where they'll be next.
Next is Secret City Jeep. Their staff are proud to show off their 1966 Chrysler Town and Country. I love it. To give you Christmas vacation flashbacks, as well as a new Ram truck that's 20% below MSRP. Grab a holiday duck from one of the team members and spread some love to your favorite neighbor's rides. Secret City Jeep, located on the main turnpike and offering up to 20% below MSRP on new Jeeps and Rams during their Wrap Up the Year event.
And that black truck right there, that was a 1990 Ford, all decked out for the holidays. That's the Jackson Business. They have their 1990 Ford.
All right. Next is Choices Resource Center. Let's see. I see part of it.
Here's one of those big gaps we were talking about.
We'll wait just a second. Let that catch up. If y'all can hear that, that's either the Town and Country or the truck. I bet it's the truck.
I'm going to guess to say it's probably the truck.
But those Town and Countries, they could get up and go. Do you remember sitting? You may not, but you remember sitting backwards in the back seat of
my dad's truck when I was little. He had an old Nissan. I don't even think they weren't Frontiers at that point. I think they were just Nissan trucks. I think that's what they're called. And you sat sideways. Me and my brother, who's now 6'6", and I'm 6'2" or whatever. Those were. I don't know that we could fit in there nowadays.
All right, Choices Resource Center Float embraces the parade theme of sleigh ride, while staying true to their mission to help parents with unplanned pregnancies connect with support and resources. In this fantasy, the baby's crib is transformed into a sleigh filled with diapers and toys for Choices Resource Center clients. The babies are safely buckled into their child car seats for the ride. Choices Resource Center is a life-affirming pregnancy resource center providing services and resources free of charge to parents with unplanned pregnancies. For more information, call Choices at 483-0099.
And next we have Grace Veterinary Center of Oak Ridge. Welcome the pups from Grace Veterinary Center, which opened this year right here in Oak Ridge on the Oak Ridge Turnpike. Boy, this is a fun sled we got coming up next. I love the radio flyer reference.
Wow. The Pop Doctor is excuse me. This wonderful radio flyer float is from Y12 Federal Credit Union. This Toy Story themed float comes riding in on a radio flyer wagon. Y12 Federal Credit Union has branches all over East Tennessee. Come see us at one of our branches or online at y12fcu.org. Love that float.
And what my favorite character was on or around that float. What's your favorite Toy Story character? Mine is the dinosaur. I can't help but laugh every time I hear him talk.
You know, I sure do like Buzz, but I don't know. I'd have to think about that beyond Buzz. Buzz is the obvious answer.
Yeah, and Mrs. A dark horse candidate would be Mrs. Potato Head for her comments. I love her sense of humor. But I love that dinosaur. Next up is the Children's Museum. And that is the Children's Museum of Oak Ridge. Since 1973, the Children's Museum of Oak Ridge has been providing a unique educational resource while children have the opportunity to learn, playing to create, discover, solve, and experience non-traditional interactive exhibit galleries. I love that place. They still have the big polar bear.
I know it. It's wonderful. Took my girls there growing up. They loved the dollhouse. That was their favorite.
Yep.
I'm sure it's a popular one. Next is World Finance Loans and Taxes. World Finance Tax and Loans provides financial and tax support throughout the year. You will see them, I believe, on Illinois Avenue. There's a unicycle. That's another thing you need in your parade.
You do not see many of those. That's a youngster. I would have to think, I don't even know what muscles you use, probably every in your body trying to balance the length of a parade. I'm glad that's a young kid on there because I'd be sore for about a week.
No coasting. It's all it's all in your legs.
Is that still the car we're hearing from earlier? The
Town and Country.
The Town and Country. Next up, the real estate office. More real estate. The real estate office represents a long-standing real estate company in the heart of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Looking for information about real estate in your local area? Call the local trusted company, the Real Estate Office. Today, they are showing off the community with this Christmas sleigh ride. Join the fun and dance with their elves as they hand out candy with a smile. You can reach the real estate office at the corner of Welcome and Home, 865-483-SALE.
Next is Christian Academy of Oak Ridge, Lifehouse Church. They are a winter wonderland located at 535 Oak Ridge Turnpike. They offer services on Sunday at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Christian Academy is a ministry of Lifehouse, offering a study-at-home biblical-based education at affordable prices. They're now enrolling for the 24-25 school year. That's hard to believe.
And there is Mayday Deacon. Mayday Deacon is a restoration company from Oak Ridge. They specialize in water remediation and biohazard cleanup. Give them a call at 865-207-7120. Here's another Grinch theme.
Grinch is popular. You know, for a bad guy, he's pretty popular. The Oak Ridge Housing Authority. I love this float. It's beautiful. They presents With a Home from Whoville. The Grinch may have loaded his sleigh with Christmas presents, but everyone in Whoville knows Christmas doesn't come from a store, and hopefully the Grinch will learn that Christmases means a little bit more. Oak Ridge Housing Authority and the Oak Ridge Community Development Corporation, through the creation of thriving, diverse neighborhoods with affordable workforce housing and self-sufficiency initiatives, are working to stabilize and transform communities. Need more info? Go to orha.net. And they've just built 3 affordable single-family homes in Oak Ridge that are wonderful. And we just can't say enough good things about what ORHA does every year in Oak Ridge.
Definitely, and certainly always there's a need for affordable homes, especially the way the market has gone lately. You talk to someone about real estate agents and how many there are and how high the demand is, and certainly maybe now more than ever, as Oak Ridge is continuing to grow, there is a need for affordable housing, what they do. And we've got a little bit of break in the action, and I guess now would be a great time to say thank you for watching. Remind folks that BBB Communications are the ones that are allowing us to broadcast this parade, which is, of course, sponsored by the Oak Ridge Chamber of Commerce. And I could talk all day about what they've done for some of the companies that I'm affiliated with, some of the stuff that they've helped me personally with. But, David, I think you would be able to speak more than anybody at how much they do for every level of business, big and small, in this community.
Right. The Oak Ridge Chamber is in business for business. So while they may not do something every single day specifically for your business, they are doing something for the business community each and every day, which makes the business environment stronger, which keeps our taxes low, which gives us more choice of where we can go shopping, and keeps our commutes to shopping centers short because we can do it here in Oak Ridge. It brings jobs and for the people who are moving here. It is just an organization that works for you in the business community each and every day.
And here is the Anderson County Republican Party and the Anderson County Young Republicans. They are celebrating a patriotic Christmas with our red, white, and blue patriotic tree, along with their 5-foot-tall plush mascot, Ronald Trunk, who wants to remind people, everyone, to vote on March 5th and to vote Republican to keep your country and your state red. The float is sponsored by Anderson County Federated Republican Women and Anderson County Young Republicans. Anderson County Young Republicans, Anderson County Federated Women. I read that line twice. They can be found on Facebook, and each group holds monthly meetings. They'd love to have you join the grand old party family.
All right. Next is Truth Baptist Ministries, located at 911 Clinch Avenue in Clinton. They provide church services in Spanish at 11:30 a.m. on Sundays and at 10 a.m. in English. They are reaching Clinton and Oak Ridge with the gospel of Jesus. Appreciate Truth Baptist Ministries.
Absolutely, and I love that old style horn. The what do you call it? The air horn. It's like that multi-tone.
My grandfather, who's passed away now, but he had a auto repair business in Chattanooga for 50 years, and he would always put an Auga horn on his trucks, and when we would visit, he would play the Auga horn. You talk about memories. It's sound and smells, and
smells
just as much as a sight. It can
smells and
memory.
Music. Yeah, that's what does it for me so much. And as the next little bit of a lull comes to a close here, trying to read the signs, make sure we got our folks. Unfortunately, there have been some people who have kind of dropped out with the weather, but we still have a great turnout. Almost 150 different businesses and families represented in this parade, not to mention the thousands and thousands watching here in person and online. And boy, what a great turnout. It's not over yet, but boy, it's been a great night. As trying to figure out the number on this one. This looks like it is State Farm. This is Mike Masaglia, State Farm. We are a State Farm agency here in Oak Ridge. They can help you with their auto insurance, homeowners or renters insurance, life insurance, and so much more. Stop in, call in, or click in. Mike Masaglia, State Farm, where we help life go right. And it looks like Jake in the front seat.
All right. Let's see. Well,
looks like
one
more back.
All right, Daniel Forrester for Chancellor is in the Grinch outfit. Has practiced in the Oak Ridge and Clinton courts for over 17 years. Daniel's office is on Main Street in Clinton. Daniel's wife Chrissy, daughter Chloe, and her friends are in the truck today. The entire family says Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you, Daniel.
I love Buddy the Elf in the front seat. That's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
That is my wife's favorite. Absolutely. We went and saw it at Tinseltown about a week ago when it was on the big screen for the 20th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
It was just as good as the first time. We loved it.
What's your favorite color? Hey, the next float is Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They are presenting the 2023 Light the World float by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It depicts the infant Jesus Christ carried by Mother Mary on horseback. They're led by three brilliantly lighted, choreographed dancing angels and surrounded by shepherds carrying lanterns. This parade of lights reminds all that Christ is the light of the world. A lot of big words. I don't think they expected me to be reading that one, David. I think that was supposed to be for you.
You did very well. You did very well. I like their costumes. That's really good.
Yeah, they're really into it. I love anybody gets bonus points when you bring a horse out here.
That's right.
I love it.
And followed by a fire truck with horns and sirens. That horse is doing great. Speaking of horns and sirens, that is the Marlow Volunteer Fire Department. Organized in 1979 and serve residents and structures which are spread out over 65 square miles. For more information, visit them on Facebook at Marlow Volunteer Fire Department or their website at marlowfire.org. And we really appreciate the volunteers and the men and women who work at Marlow Volunteer Fire Department.
Yeah, those are thankless jobs and volunteer jobs that, boy, these communities, you don't think about them until you need them, and boy, we're lucky to have those folks in our area. Next up is Care 365. The Cousin Eddie RV is brought to you by Care 365 in Knoxville. This RV is part of the Care 365 truckster fleet. Behind the wheel is Oak Ridge native and Hall of Famer Coach Dave Moore. For more information or to see their Facebook, or check out their Facebook page, Tracking the Truckster. They will drive any mile to bring a smile. Care 365 is a 501c3 nonprofit organization based in Knoxville, tracking the truckster tours. You can see those. See Facebook page Tracking the Truckster for more.
Well, we see Grossman's, and they have several entries in this parade. We do not have their entry, so we apologize for that. But they clearly have just relocated to the east end of Oak Ridge. We welcome them to Oak Ridge. Grossman's wishes everyone Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Grossman's Easy Tow.
Oh, that's a big one from the little monster from Grossman's.
Holy cow.
I would not want to be getting towed by that. Of course, I'd probably have a pretty nice vehicle, or at least a pretty big one if I was. Next up is Waste Connections. Welcome your local trash and recycle crews, which is one of Waste Connections' Oak Ridge trash trucks decorated with lights. I wish they could haul around like that all Christmas season.
Yeah, it would be nice. You know, they not only do they pick up trash and recycling, but they do our leaves, they do our household waste pickup. These guys are working all the time.
It's always interesting, the kids who get a little bit more risky, get a little further out there as the parade goes on. All of a sudden, the parade gets more and more narrow as kids keep getting further and further. And, hey, I can't complain. I was one of those kids. You always want to be the first one to get that candy.
Route shrinks. Right behind Waste Connections is Restoration 1 of West Knoxville.
Skyler with Restoration 1. David, he's part of our chamber ambassadors.
That's right. He does a lot of work.
Ton of work for us.
They just had a very interesting ugly sweater contest the other day. It was very close, just a few fractions of a point separated first from last. So it was.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the person on the microphone with you tied for last, but I also tied for fourth.
That's correct. That's what we'll say. So Restoration, getting back to Skyler, have water damage, slay it isn't so. Restoration 1 of Knoxville is ready to slay the damages with 24 hours, 7 days a week service, no matter the scale of damages to your home or business. Being led by Van Rudolph. This sleigh team is locally family owned and operated with plenty of sleigh rides guiding you through a difficult time with blankets, hot chocolate, the best elves. We are here to help you, Oak Ridge. At Restoration 1 of Knoxville, we help with any disaster that has impacted your home. You can reach them at 855-714-5669.
And there was Skyler. Next up is Washboard Wash and Fold Laundry Service over by the high school. Bob's Washboard on Robertsville Road. Offers state-of-the-art facilities and a top-notch equipment, ensuring a seamless and efficient laundry experience. They'll even fold your laundry,
Yes,
bring
they
it
will.
to you. They have all sorts of service. I know time is of the essence, and they can help you save some time. Just drop your laundry off.
They will pick it up at your house and drop it back off. In fact, that's Bob. Bob coming right in front of us. Good to see you, Bob.
Merry Christmas, Bob. Thanks for your support. Getting a little FaceTime there, too.
Yes, he was.
I think that...
Is that?
I'm not sure. I think we got a rogue flute. Hey, come one, come all.
Okay, I think that was Ida Miller Plumbing, locally owned and operated by Trenton, Lee, and Ida Miller. Founded in 2009, they offer residential and commercial service plumbing, specializing in tankless water heaters, and they have installed one of those at my house, actually. I love a tankless water heater.
And see right there, Merry Christmas from Gary Long, Road Superintendent with the Anderson County Highway Department. They're available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Yep, even on Christmas. The Anderson County Highway Department is located at 183 J.D. Yarnell Industrial Parkway. They brought a large dump truck that is used daily to haul equipment, rock, gravel, etc., which in turn helps keep county roads safe for residents just like you to travel on.
And Gary Long does a great job. Our roads in Anderson County are terrific. We appreciate all he and his staff do. Right behind Gary Long is Walmart 1194 in Oak Ridge. And they welcome members of the team to the parade and to wish everyone Merry Christmas.
We got some music coming out of there. Here comes the tractor. This is Three Rivers Antique Tractor and Engine Club from Kingston, Tennessee, under President Billy Norman. Three Rivers Antique Tractor Club members have a wide range of antique tractors, Fords, John Deere's, Farmalls, and lawnmowers. Find them on Facebook. That's Three Rivers Antique Tractor and Engine Club.
Following them is Game Over Towing, located in Oak Ridge. They offer the cheapest rates in town for all your towing and lockout needs. Game Over Towing.
Looks like Rudolph looking towards the camera. Getting a little FaceTime, Brad.
Yep.
Next up, it's not Linden, but it is their mascot. It's the Lions Club. The Oak Ridge Lions Club promotes vision conservation by helping all folks and people with eye exams and eyeglasses. If Rudolph's eyes are not as bright as his nose, who knows where he may go? We're getting bubbles in the booth tonight.
I love that.
I think somebody's trying to tell me I need some soap or something.
Following the Lions Club is Off the Wall Youth Ministry of High Places Community Church. Off the Wall Youth Ministries of High Places Community Church presents their version of Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. The red Tacoma, as the reindeer is hauling a 10-foot trailer with sledders riding on snow in the trailer.
Well, these guys are getting into it in the back, too. They get an A for me for effort. I'm
Yes.
not a judge. I can't influence the judges,
That's right.
but I will say they're giving a lot of effort back there. I like to see that. And there's a dog. Again, bonus points anytime
right.
there's an animal, especially if they're cute.
Yep.
Following them is Grace Lutheran Church, Grace Lutheran ELCA Oak Ridge. They're located at 131 Gettysburg Avenue here in town. Contact them at 865-483-3787. Trying to get some influencers over here.
Very
Smart,
wise.
smart.
Very wise.
We can't help. Well, we won't tell her that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take it. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Following Grace Lutheran is Crawl Tech. They're proud to be a small family-owned business right here in Oak Ridge. They provide waterproofing and pest control services to their East Tennessee neighbors. Check them out on Facebook at Crawl TEKTN or online at CRAWLTEKTN They wish you a sweet Christmas, and we appreciate that.
Talk about sweet. Look at the candy just in front of our table and start thinking about the dentist. And when I think dentist, I think back to my days as a youth when I had braces. And East Tennessee Orthodontics is up next. That was a long, rather stretch of a segue.
Yep.
Are you looking for an orthodontist in East Tennessee? If you are, East Tennessee Orthodontics offers braces and Invisalign aligners for children and adults. They have offices located in Oak Ridge and Powell as well.
Okay, right behind East Tennessee Orthodontics as Frosty walks by. You got to love that. Is the Knoxville Area Model Railroaders. Their float is entitled G, Christmas Trains Around the Tree, and features 3 G-scale trains huffing around a custom-lighted Christmas village and glowing Christmas tree. If you look very closely, you may spot a very famous train on its way to pick up some very lucky children for a magical Christmas Eve journey to the North Pole. A senior toy elf is also on loan from Santa Inc. to make sure all trains are in good working order and stay that way. KAMR is a nonprofit 100-member club that promotes model railroading through the creation and display of railroad layouts of all scales that are open to the general public every third Sunday of the month from 1 to 4 at Children's Museum of Oak Ridge. I hope you'll visit their railroad room. It is fantastic.
Next up, Atomic Rowing, Oak Ridge Rowing Association, and Atomic Rowing want to celebrate the season and the opportunity for you to join the rowing program. We have to learn to row classes. They have learn to row classes on January 20th and 27th, 2024. So it seems like a ways away, but just about a month and a half away. Those classes are for youth age 12 through 17 and adults too. Please go to their website for more information. tinyurl.com/atomicltr for more information.
All right. Southeast Restoration of Knoxville is a full-service general contractor and offers emergency water damage, storm damage, and mold removal services in Knoxville, and I would add in Oak Ridge, I'm sure.
They got a couple of nice trucks.
Yes, they do.
I will say that. And then a box truck. Hey, they're being responsible. I like it. They're telling folks, you got to back up just a little bit. Don't get too close. Reminds me of going to the steakhouse restaurants. You know, you got the rice when they're flipping it to you. All these kids are trying to catch them in the bags.
Wasabi. Love it.
Here comes an old school fire truck making the turn. Let's see if we can figure out who that is. This looks like the Emlyn Fire Department. And I don't have to apologize. I don't think we have notes for them, but we certainly appreciate them. Got engine number 3 out here, and it's got the old school lights on it. It's a newer vehicle, but it's got the old school lights, and that's kind of a retrofit. I like to see that.
Okay. Jake's Affordable Painting offers interior and exterior painting services. Contact them at 865-973-3393. Jake's Affordable Painting.
Well, I'd like to have a house as nice as the one that's on the side of that van.
Yep. A good painter can make things look wonderful.
It's true, inside or out.
Yep.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to the end. This has flown by,
yes,
but there's one person that we have not seen.
Well, I haven't noticed. Maybe they're at the end.
Maybe.
Probably at the end.
Somebody I haven't seen. Somebody's missing. We've seen the Grinch.
Yes.
I wonder if there's a little bit more cheery character. Maybe we'll find out if you stay tuned with us. Next up is the Scott Foundation. The Scott Foundation was started back in 2014 in memory of Scott Crisp, Their mission is to honor the lives of fallen, seriously injured, or ill police officers and their family members.
Wonderful.
Thank you to the Scott Foundation. Great work they do.
Next is Cash Express LLC. Cash Express is a payday cash loan company who has no credit checks, and they do cash checks.
And next up is a vehicle I'd like to drive, but I'd like to keep it until the weather turns warmer. Caliber Cuts. Caliber Cuts LLC provides mowing, landscaping, hardscaping, outdoor lighting, and audio excavation, and many more services. They provide services to all of East Tennessee, and you can reach them at 865-712-3793.
You never know when the turnpike's going to need mowing, so they've got it covered right now.
Yeah, you put a zero turn in my palms. That's a dangerous. That would turn into a toy, a idled down 4-wheeler really quick. It would not be pretty. It'd be fun until it wasn't. Until I had to call the folks from Methodist that we saw earlier.
Oh, I think they're right. They're doing formations.
How'd you like to be the guy driving, having to haul that thing? I think I'd rather be on the mower.
Yeah.
Especially now that it's not raining.
Yep. All right, next.
It's back a little ways, I think.
$119 or $139.
Isaiah House coming up. They do a lot of great work in our community.
Fine. Go ahead.
Isaiah 117 House is a nonprofit organization that helps to care for children in state custody while awaiting foster placement. For more information, you can find Isaiah 117 House Anderson on Facebook or Instagram, or email Andrea. That's ANDREA.Townsend at Isaiah117house.com. Their house float shows a miniature Isaiah 117 house with their iconic welcoming red door. Because of our community, they are able to care for children in need.
Next up is the Clinton Highway Department, and the Clinton Highway Wrecker Service. They have the pleasure of towing for more than 50 years to Knoxville and surrounding areas. We appreciate the Clinton Highway Wrecker Service being in our parade.
I was on Clinton Highway earlier today. It seems like that area is always congested and always busy, so we certainly thank those folks for helping to keep those roads safe. Here comes an interesting float behind the wreckers. You know I'm getting hungry because it's a train and we're seeing the smokestack, and I'm thinking that looks like a barbecue restaurant.
It's a grill, that's right.
And that is Milestone Church. Take a ride on the Polar Express. Our entry is a black train model of the Polar Express with kids riding to the North Pole. Milestone Church, Oak Ridge campus. Join us for worship Sundays at 8:30 or 10:30 a.m. They're located at 100 Gum Hollow Road, Oak Ridge, Tennessee 37830. That, of course, is on the west end by the Country Club. https://www.milestonechurch.cc.
They've got the conductor nailed. That looks just like the guy in the movie. So,
you know, that's a movie that I haven't seen.
That's a good
and
one.
Everybody thinks,
how
have you not seen that?
Yeah.
But it's just one. I had just aged out of watching a bunch of those Christmas movies, and I'd love to see it. Big Tom Hanks fan, just haven't seen it.
All right, next is Contact Caroline, founded in Oak Ridge, is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Congratulations, of community service. Contact Caroline answers calls and texts from East Tennessee and beyond. Dial 988 to reach Contact Caroline's 988 Suicide and Crisis line. Contact Caroline brings us Buddy the Elf's journey through the 7 levels of the candy cane forest, past the sea of twirly, swirly gumdrops, and then walking through the Lincoln Tunnel. Buddy reminds us the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. We appreciate what Contact does every year.
And then there's KOA Strength and Fitness. They're locally owned and operated by a 1995 Oak Ridge High School graduate. They offer personal and group training, online coaching, and much, much more. Look them up on social media. Located at 697 Emory Valley Road. That's KOA Strength and Fitness.
All right, following them is Papa John's. When your friends and family arrive for the holidays, order Papa John's online or call 865-483-3232 now for the best pizza deals. Taste their latest menu options for pizza, breadsticks, and wings available for delivery or pickup.
I had Papa John's yesterday. Next up, this Fast and Classy Car Club. They are a local car club group. They have over 100 members of all ages of cars. This group has lots of shows that they go on from beginning of show season to the last parade of the year. They come to spread joy and give back to others. Their leader is Jimmy Stiltner. I'll take this next one, David. This is, well, we're going to wait just a second. There's a pretty big gap in some of these cars. And they're not kidding. They got some newer cars, some really old cars, some what I would call sort of medium old cars, so those classic Mustangs, Corvettes, things like that. These are some beautiful, beautiful cars.
Yes,
and
they do.
Something I always love, and it's probably not, maybe not the best for the environment, but I love the smell of the old cars that go by. You smell a little of that gas, and it just smells like American muscle.
And it really takes a lot of effort to maintain these cars in such pristine condition. We appreciate them bringing them out on a damp night like tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you think about some of these parts that are so hard to find now,
yep.
and it takes a passion and a true, like you said, effort is a great word to describe what it takes. These people don't just show up and these cars were in perfect condition, from 40, 50, 70 years ago. These cars have had to be maintained. A lot of them had to be restored. And this last one right here is a really old Chevy.
It takes a network of people, too, to know where to find a part or where you might could get a part or how they replace that part with something you can get. Mm-hmm. It's a passion.
I think we actually have a few more cars on the other end. This may be the record for the most vehicles in one. Of course, I remember when I was young, they had those little bitty go-karts. Those were my favorite.
I miss those. I really miss those.
They probably had about the same amount of cars. They didn't take up quite as much space. They're a little bit smaller cars, but certainly these have a little bit higher value, I'd say, than those go-karts did.
They would run formations and figure eights, and man, miss those days. I think insurance requirements maybe got the best of those guys.
See a member of the Wild Band walk back through, so clearly the first folks that walked by us are now done. As we start to, again, this is moving from the east end of the Turnpike, where Lafayette and the Turnpike meet, towards the west end, towards the high school. So if you're out or you're watching us and you're watching a preview of what's to come, just hang on, it's heading your way. And this, I think, the last one is K&K Homemade Sweet Treats. K&K catered one of our recent chamber events, and I can confirm the food was both sweet and a treat.
All right. And right after them is the Anderson County Emergency Medical Services, which if you call the ambulance, they're the ones that are coming. We appreciate them taking care of Anderson County, including Oak Ridge, and taking care of us.
Looks like This is Quality Towing.
Yeah, Quality Towing has been providing service to Anderson County and surrounding areas since 1982. Quality Towing was voted best towing company in Anderson County this year and would like to thank all their customers and the community for their support. Quality Towing has 4 of their most used trucks tonight, along with their Freightliner Heavy Duty with a heavy-duty horn, which is making its debut tonight for the Oak Ridge Christmas Parade.
Their horns work too.
Yep.
If I know nothing about wrecker services after tonight, I'll tell you right now, I know that their horns work. This is Quality Towing, as you mentioned. And then I think this looks like,
let's see.
we got a famous person coming along here in just a moment. This looks like Sexton Automotive Group here in Oak Ridge on the Turnpike.
My dad just had a little dent repaired in his car by Sexton. He said they did a fantastic job.
We'd like to give a special shout out to the staff, board, and volunteers at the Oak Ridge Chamber who make this parade possible. It takes months of planning to bring you this event. Their float is piloted by Anthony Norris in a Nissan Titan, loaned by Sexton Automotive. That's who we just saw. And we also want to add thank you to David Allred in High Places Community Church and his crew who are helping to do the cleanup all along the route.
That is a big job, and that is appreciated. Alex? There's a lot of emergency vehicles, but I don't think there's an emergency. I think they are escorting someone important.
Wait, I think I hear the sounds of a familiar laugh. Is it ho, ho, ho?
I believe it is. That's right. The best ending to the best parade. As always, Santa Claus riding in the tower truck. We'll let you watch as he comes by. It's tough for Santa to coordinate with all these parades he's in, so it's in part of that Santa magic, I think.
Yeah. But hey, if anybody can fly around the world in one night,
he can do it.
He can do it. That's the best seat in the house, isn't it?
It is. I love it.
He might be able to see the end of the parade from way up there. Some Santas have reindeer. These Santas, they might just tell how many reindeer was there. 9?
9.
I think there might have 9 cop cars, police cars from, and boy, we talked about the old with Chief Robin Smith and that old car to start the parade. Now you've got the new cars, and boy, those are some pretty Fords, aren't they?
Yep.
Well, David, it's been a great night. It's the weather has cooperated.
It was
somehow.
Perfect. It was perfect. I mean, it was just right. The temperature was good, but not too cold. It was wet, but not too wet. I think we're ready for Christmas now.
I think so. Special thanks again to the City of Oak Ridge and the many departments and individuals who help support this event, our volunteers, and all the families, organizations, and companies who work so hard to create beautiful and fun entries into the parade. Thank you to Take 5 behind us for allowing us to use this area and the facilities for our judging. And thank you to BBB TV, Brad Jones, and those fine folks for broadcasting this event. And I won't say it for them, but I'm not an employee. I'm just an ambassador, I guess you could say. Thank you to the Chamber, because without the Chamber of Commerce, this event, and like they said, months and months of planning, Bree, Norm, Christine, all the folks over there, this event could not happen. It takes so much work. So thank you to the Oak Ridge Chamber, and thank you for those who are watching. And David, the final thoughts on the 2023 Christmas parade. It was a fun one.
It was a great parade, a ton of entries, a lot of new entries. And I think if you weren't ready for Christmas, you are now. So we'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and to be sure to shop in Oak Ridge.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, as David said. Happy New Year ahead of time for 2024. But for one last time, for David, for myself, and for everybody at the Oak Ridge Chamber, thank you to Brad Jones. Thank you to everyone who made tonight possible. Merry Christmas and good night.